Hi everyone and welcome to BookBoot. Today I'm so excited about this video because I'm going to be revealing my top 10 books from 2018. So I'll be revealing them in descending order, so starting at number 10 all the way down to number 1. I had a really hard time figuring out the order for these books because they're all so different. They have different genres, different grade levels, all sorts of stuff, but I'm really excited to share these books with you. Most of these books I either read as an ebook or I borrowed from the library, so a lot of these books I'm not able to hold up for you to show you the covers, but I will show you as many as I possibly can. But let's go ahead and jump into my top 10 from 2018. So at number 10 is The Blood of Eden by, oh, not The Blood of Eden, sorry, The Immortal Rules by Julie Kagawa. It is the Blood of Eden trilogy series I read this year, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. It is a post-apocalyptic vampire series, and when I say vampire, I don't mean like Twilight. I don't mean it's not like sparkly vampires and love triangles, but it is bloody and gritty and amazing. If you want to see a total BA vampire chick wielding a katana and just going crazy, and it's amazing. It's like a vampire horror movie, and it was so much fun to read. So I had a blast reading it. I highly recommend it. So much fun. At number 9 is The Light Between Worlds by Laura E. Weymouth. This is a book I read very recently, and it was so different than anything else I have ever read. It was a lot darker, it was a lot heavier of a book, and I think that's why I enjoyed it. It stuck with me. It also has a lot of parallels to The Chronicles of Narnia, which is one of my favorite series of all time. It deals with the idea that what if you were jettisoned into this magical world and you lived there for several years, and then you are sent back to your own world here, and that time has not passed at all. You return right when you had left. You lost all those years. And what would the transition be like? Well, how would you handle it? Would you have a hard time kind of coming back to our world and missing the magical world? Or would you be happy to be back? How would you adjust to that? So I really enjoyed this story a lot. If you're interested in reading it, I will say though that it does have some trigger warnings for self-harm, so please do be aware of that. But that was The Light Between Worlds by Laura E. Weymouth. So good and great to read during winter. It's got a lot of winter themes in it. And number 8 is The 49th Mystic by Ted Dekker. I'm a big Ted Dekker fan, sorry, tongue-tied. One of my favorite series that he's written is the Circle trilogy, and this book, The 49th Mystic, actually ties along with that series. So I was so excited about it coming out. It came out this year, and I really, really loved it a lot. It goes with the idea that what if you, whenever you fell asleep, you woke up in a completely different world and a completely different life. Ready, set, dream. It was so much fun, and I love how Ted Dekker will take the gospel of Jesus and he will put it in a different setting to make you look at it in a different way, and it's just so awesome, and I really, really loved it a lot, and I'm looking forward to reading the second book in this duology, and yes, so good. All right, so at number 7 and number 6, I'm going to hold these up at the same time because I actually have these. We've got The Hangman's Curse and Nightmare Academy by Frank Peretti. Both of these books are middle grade, and they are both mystery thrillers, and man were they. They were so page-turning, crazy, exciting. I could not put these down. These were so much fun, and they read so quickly. With The Hangman's Curse, we have the idea of what if this apparition appears, and whenever you saw it, people would go crazy, and then their health would decline to where they would die. It's pretty darn intense, and it's got a nice little ghost theme to it, which I love. And this one here, A Nightmare Academy, this one actually was even more intense than The Hangman's Curse, and it deals with the idea of what if you took a whole bunch of teenagers, put them in the middle of nowhere with pretty much no adult supervision, telling them that there is no truth, aren't no rules or anything, and just see what they would do. I know that sounds maybe a little bit more boring than this one, but man, this one was intense and it was good. You don't have to necessarily read these back to back. They're kind of duology, but they don't really tie into each other too much, just have the same characters. But these were so much fun, and they were so fast-paced and nuts, and this was kind of the first couple of mystery thrillers I had ever read, and so I really enjoyed these. Okay, so the next one, sorry, I have a list just right there, so I'm looking away. All right, is number 5, which is, here it is, My Diary from the Edge of the World by Jodi Lynn Anderson. Sorry, can't talk. Jodi Lynn Anderson. I really, really enjoyed this book quite a bit. When I first started reading it, I wasn't sure how I felt about it. It's a middle grade novel, and when I first started reading it, it seemed a little bit little kiddie, and it's in a diary format, and I was just kind of like, I'm not sure if I'm liking this, but I stuck with it, and I'm so glad I did. The story really sucked me in, and the ending of this book killed me. It wrecked me. I cried. I cried at the end of this book. I am not ashamed. And it was so good. This story follows this family who live in a world that's very similar to ours, except there's some magical elements to it, like there are dragons and things like that. And one of the other elements in this world is kind of something different when death, which is when a dark cloud kind of looms and it'll come and hang over your household. And that's telling you that someone in your house is going to die soon, and that cloud is going to take that person away. So a dark cloud comes over this family's home, and they pack up all their stuff, they get in a Winnebago, and they drive across the country and trying to escape this cloud. And it's all about how you do anything for your family and how important your family is to you. And it was so good. It was such a beautiful story, and I highly recommend it. And that ending, so good. After that, we got another Jodi Lynn Anderson, which is one I read from the library, and that is Midnight at the Electric. I really, really loved this book. Again, it was another book set and focused so much on family and the importance of family and family history. It's basically a story within a story within a story. We follow this girl in the far future who is preparing to leave for Mars. She's going to go to Mars and colonize it with some other people because she's all smart and sciencey, and she's going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff there. And she doesn't think she has any family left on Earth, and then she finds out she actually does. She has like this great aunt or something, and she stays with her great aunt while she's preparing to go to Mars, and she ends up learning more about her family history. And some of it is in like a regular book format, some of it's in diary format, some of it's in letter format, and it is so much fun. It's got two or three different people's stories within this story, and it's beautiful, and I loved it, and it was intense, and I couldn't put it down either. And I just loved how it talked about the importance of family and how important our family history is. After that, I'm looking at the list again. Number 3, this is top 3 now. We've got The Window by Amelia Brunskill. I was so loving this book. I read it earlier this year. It is Amelia Brunskill's premiere novel, and it was so good. It is a very intense mystery thriller, and I really could not legit put this down. I was obsessively reading this one, like any spare minute. Even if I had like 5 minutes to read, I didn't care. I was going to sit, I was going to read it and inhale this story. So in this story, we follow these twin sisters where one of them has fallen out of the window, her bedroom window, and died, and the other sister, through her grief, starts looking into what her sister was doing leading up to that point. Why was her sister trying to climb out of the window? Why did she fall out of the window? What was going on? And she ends up finding there's a lot about her sister that she didn't know about, and it was super intense and so good. The Window by Amelia Brunskill. At number 2, one of my favorites this year, Renegades by Marissa Meyer. This is the age-old story of heroes versus villains, and so we have people with superpowers in this book, and I love the fact that this story has 2 different perspectives. One perspective is someone that is a superhero, and the other one is perspective of the villains. And the villain was my favorite perspective because I love seeing why they do what they do. Why do they feel like what they're doing is right? And a lot of times the lines are kind of blurred between superhero and villain and who's actually right, and it's so good. This book is perfect for people that aren't usually huge readers because it reads really fast. It's a very fast-paced story, and it's like reading a Marvel movie, basically, and it is so much fun. The second book in the series just came out, Arch Nemesis. I'm hoping to read it hopefully at the beginning of the year, but this book was so much fun. One of my favorites I read this year. At number 1, my absolute favorite book this year, at least I think so. I had a hard time deciding which one was my number 1, but it is The City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. I love any book that has something to do with a ghost story. I love ghost stories. It reminds me so much of my favorite author, one of my favorite authors, Mary Downing Hahn. And so this book was a blast to read. It's a middle grade book. I think it's Victoria Schwab's one of her first middle grade books. And this follows the story of a girl who has gone through a near-death experience. And because of that, she is now able to see ghosts. She's able to see beyond the veil. And actually, a ghost is what saves her from dying in the first place. And this ghost ends up becoming her best friend. Her parents, they are going to Edinburgh, Scotland to film a TV show all about how haunted Edinburgh, Scotland is. And so when she goes along with them, she ends up meeting some not so nice spirits. This book was so much fun. It was fast-paced and legit. This was one of those ones where I got to the last page, finished it, wanted to turn right back to the beginning and start over because I really loved it. So I'm looking forward to hopefully doing a reread of this one sometime in the near future, but it was so much fun and it was a blast. So that is my top 10 books for 2018. Such a fun year of reading. I hope you've had a fun year of reading too. What were your favorite books from this year? Let me know down below. If there are any books that I mentioned today that you have read as well, please let me know what you thought about them. I would love to know. But on this side over here is going to be my logo. If you would like to click on that, you can subscribe to my channel. On this side over here is a suggestion for a video you can watch right now if you want to watch another one of my videos. But thank you so much for watching. Merry Christmas. You rock. And don't forget to keep reading. Bye!